To perform a simple continuous pattern, we're going to place the needle again about 4 millimeters or 5 millimeters from the cut edge of the incision through the first side, stabilize with the needle holder or thumb forceps, rotate through using the curve of the needle, reposition, and again about 4 millimeters from the cut edge, rotate through with the needle holder, and we are going to pull this through. The beginning of a simple continuous is exactly the same as a simple interrupted. We bring the end down so we don't waste too much suture, place the needle holder in the middle, and we're going to do a 4th row square knot. Come around the needle holder one time, grab the short end and tighten. This will loosen because it's a monofilament, but it's okay. Needle holder goes back in the middle, come around the needle holder one time, and now it's important to keep this flat. Tighten that down till the suture provides the right amount of tension across the suture line. Needle holder in the middle. If you go from the side here or here, it becomes a granny knot. So in the middle, around once, tighten. This time you can tighten very tight because it's a 3rd throw, and then again needle holder in the middle, tighten for the 4th throw. Because we are going to do a continuous, we're not going to cut the long end, we're just going to cut the short end at about 1 centimeter long. At this point, we're going to reposition the needle, again coming just behind halfway, so halfway is here, we're going to come just beyond that, and we're going to place our neck sutures, continuing to be about 4 millimeters away from the cut edge, but now moving at about 7 or so millimeters from the last suture. We can go across both sides of the suture if there's limited tension, support the needle, and then bring the needle through, again using the curve. So it's possible to do the continuous starting that way. It's also possible to go through both sides, or one side at a time. So we go from the far side, stabilize, bring the needle out, and then on the near side. The nice part about this pad is it already has an incision, so you don't have to worry about cutting, but it also has these dots that give you a point of reference to make sure that the spacing of your sutures is appropriate. So in this case, we're separating our suture bites one side at a time. That allows us to be a little more accurate than if we try to get through both at once. And we can work our way through. And if you appreciate, the nice part about these translucent pads is that not only can I see what's happening on top, but I can look at the suture below, and you can see that the distance from this bite to this bite was greater than from this one to there. So my bites aren't quite even, and that gives me something to work on to improve my surgical skills, because this is the part that the client's going to see. So you want to make sure that they are as evenly placed as possible. Here we can go through both sides at once because the incision is very close to itself. And now we're going to tie. To tie, we leave the loop at the last throw, put the needle holder again right in the middle of the incision, and go around one time. Very important at this point, when you grab this loop, to rotate the loop over so that we can make a square knot. And notice how I've opened the jaws of my needle holder so that as I tighten this down, the loop equilibrates. Needle holder back in the center. It loosens some, that's okay. Back around one time, grab the loop here, rotate that over, and then tighten down. At this point, I've got some slipping going on at the knot, so if I have one loop that's tighter than another, I can catch up with the other side by grabbing part way down the loop. You can tell this is a square knot because the suture is at 180 degrees from itself, or if it were a slip knot, it would come at a 90-degree angle. Needle holders back in the middle, around one time, rotating the suture through so that it stays nice and flat, tightening it down evenly, and then one last throw in order to finish my square knot. And again, because the suture lies at a 180-degree angle from itself, I know that I am providing a square knot instead of a slip knot, and then we can cut both of these at about 1 centimeter away.